So we are back again. Come along, my friends. Come along. Get aboard. Ride this train. Like we've told you before, there's everything on this train for you to gain. So here we are with our next offering of the scriptures revealed. This very next offering is super near and dear to my heart. If I had to pick some of the offerings in the scriptures revealed that were most life changing or most impactful to me, this would certainly be one of them. And this, my friends, is one of the whole reasons and why you came here and what you came here to do. So let's get right into it. So this next offering is called Choose Ye This Day. So many of you have heard this scripture. Many of you are familiar with it. Choose ye this day who you will serve. So we're going to give you some insight on that. And like I said, we're very intent with our motive. And the whole motive of revealing, giving you divine inspiration and revelation on this scripture is for you to begin to dive and delve and engulf yourself in your freedom to choose. So we want you to begin to choose the thoughts and beliefs that serve you. Many of you have thought about choose ye this day whom you will serve, and you've thought about serving all kinds of things external from you. A God that you've been told about outside of yourself, a religion that you've been taught about outside of yourself, a plan for your life that you've been taught about outside of yourself. All these kinds of different things you've been made to think or been taught to think that you should use as your guide in decision making. And we are here to begin to tell you to choose ye this day, this moment in time, and as many of your moments in time as you can remain aware and focused on it, to choose the thoughts, beliefs that serve you, that serve the things that make you feel good, that serve the things that empower you, that serve the things that move you toward your desires. So let's think about that in a couple of different ways. So one, in order for you to begin to do that, in order for you to really get into that, you really do have to know that you are free to choose. And so many of you are all the time confessing that you are free indeed and that you've been set free. But yet so many times over and over again, you resist the freedom of choice that you have. You resist your freedom to choose what you prefer. Your preferences belong to you, and you are a blessed, divine, worthy being, and you are worthy of having your choices. You are most certainly free to make those choices. So as you begin in the coming days, in the coming weeks and months to contemplate on the scriptures revealed, and you start to chew on this scripture more and more, choose ye this day. We want you to think about the belief that you're holding, the thoughts that you are holding. When you think a thought, and let's be clear, let's back up a little bit and be clear about what beliefs are. A belief is simply a thought that you've thought over and over again. And you've thought it so much that now it's a belief within you. You're holding it as a belief. You are measuring things against that belief, and you are measuring others against that belief. It's a thought that you've thought over and over again, and now it's become a belief. If you want to test that, pick any thought, a thought that maybe you've never thought, a belief that maybe you've never had. Pick any random one, and I want you to think about it for a while. And you'll notice the more you think about it, the more you'll think about it. And the more you think about it, the more you begin to develop all kinds of beliefs around it. And the more you'll begin to measure things around it, yourself, others, things, all kinds of things you'll begin to measure against that belief or up to that belief. So what we want you to begin to do is we want you to begin to think about the thoughts you are thinking. When you are thinking a thought, we want you to pick another thought. Simple as that. Each day, all day long, you're having millions of thoughts, thousands of thoughts, hundreds of thoughts. Some of you think so much that you have no idea. Your soul, you just feel like I can never meditate. And meditation is so powerful for you. It is. But so many of you are not able to dive into meditation and the power of meditation because you don't know how to stop your thoughts. There's so many thoughts coming at you all the time, all the time, all the time. Guess what though? This is going to be a really good practice for you, because what this is going to begin to do is it's going to begin to train your mind that you are the thinker. That you are the thinker. You are the thinker of those thoughts, and you get to choose which thoughts you will entertain. This is what it is meant when it is written, cast down every thought and imagination that exalt itself above the knowledge. Listen, when you begin to think thoughts that are exalting themselves above the knowledge that you know that you have, that you're a powerful being, that you're free to choose, and that you're free indeed. When thoughts like that begin to come into your mind, we want you to begin to cast those thoughts away and pick a new thought. The more you begin to entertain thoughts that serve you and serve your desires and serve your empowerment and that serve your divinity, you're going to begin to develop new belief systems. You're going to begin to more and more to conceive. You're going to begin to give more life birth. Yes? Have you been conceiving? What are you conceiving? Since our last talk, perhaps now you are beginning to have conceptions that are living and are inspiring, and now they are burning and feeling good within you. We want to talk to you more like that, and we want to give you more thought patterns and belief systems that serve you and that serve your beliefs, that go toward or push you in the direction of your desires. So we want you to begin to examine your thoughts. One of our mentors that I love very much is Dr. Dyer. Dr. Dyer was one of the first teachers that I began to listen to in my young adult years. I did have, like I said, a huge gap between the things that I had been taught as a church girl every day that was raised. And my mother was a very astute Christian and devout Bible studier. And she was deep and serious about the scriptures. And I had many, many questions and gaps in those teachings because I had a father who didn't have a religious bone in his body, who I also loved very, very much, and who also gave me so much wisdom and knowledge in the world. So I gained so much from them both, but they were so very, very different. So very, very different. And so I had so many questions about what is this, and what should I believe, and what do I do, and what do I do to get to where I want, and why did I come here, and what was the point of me coming here? So as I began to ask those questions, the teachers, the influencers that I desired that could point me in the direction of the things that I asked begin to show up. Dr. Dyer is one of them. And Dr. Dyer has this really powerful talk where he talks about beginning to observe the thinker. You are the thinker, and we want you to begin to step outside of yourself for a moment and know that every single thought that you think does not mean it's from within you. So many thoughts are coming your way all the time because you hear so much all the time. You hear things on social media, you hear things on radio, you hear things from your friends, you hear things from your loved ones, you hear things from your preachers, you hear things from your teachers, you hear things from your children, you hear things from your uncles and your aunts and you hear so many things all the time. And these things that you are hearing, you are contemplating and you're thinking about because you are a thinker. But we want you to begin to observe the thinker. Begin to examine the thought that you're having and that you're entertaining. And so the thought may come your way. You get to choose. You get to choose. Does that thought feel good to me? Is that thought uplifting me? Is that thought moving me in the direction of my desires? Is that thought freeing me to go toward my desires? We want you to begin to examine your thoughts. We want you to begin to choose the thoughts that serve you. If you are thinking a thing and it makes you sad, does that serve you? How does thinking about a sad thing serve your happiness? And begin to ask yourself, do I really want to feel sad in this moment right now? And if I want to feel happy, then let me choose a happy thought. Let me choose another thought that feels better. If you think a thought and that thought feels like guilt or shame to you, you're thinking about the thought, maybe a thing that you've done, or maybe the thing that someone saw you do, or something of that matter. And that thought makes you feel guilt or shame. Begin to ask yourself, do I want to feel guilty? And do I want to feel shame? Or do I want to feel blameless? And do I want to feel righteous? And do I want to feel royal and worthy? Begin to ask yourself, why should I entertain a thought? Why should I entertain any belief or concept that makes me feel those things? For I am not that. You are not that. You are a blessed, divine, worthy being. We're going to say it to you over and over again because we want you to begin to walk in your worthiness and to walk in your power. So a part of doing that, a very practical part of doing that, and how you begin to do it. This is how you walk it out. You've been told, you've heard that don't just talk the talk and walk the walk. This is how you walk it out. This is how you begin to practice and to put it into practice in your day-to-day life. This is how you begin to live it and walk it out. Examine your thoughts. Decide what your beliefs are. And the beliefs that you are holding, do they serve you? Let's be very clear again and write our motive. Remember that our motive for this talk on Choose Ye This Day is so that you begin to be free to choose. And that you choose the thoughts and beliefs that serve you. You came here to choose. You came here knowing that you would have many choices to make. And you came here knowing you would be free to make those choices. You were taught, then you begin to get taught. This is what it is meant when it says, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. This is not meant the things, the activities that you feel that is wrong or right or good or bad. This is what it is. This is what is meant when it is talking about born in sin and shaped in iniquity. You came here knowing that you would make a lot of choices and that you would be perfectly free to make those choices. But then you get born into this world and you get shaped into another belief system. You get shaped into a belief system that desires to control you, that desires to determine who you are and who you should be. When you came here wanting and knowing that you could do that for yourself. You don't need and didn't need anyone to make your choices for you. You knew that you had the power to choose. You knew that you were perfectly free to choose, and you came here to enjoy the choosing. You came here to experience life. And as you had different and various life experience, you came here to enjoy making preferences and determining what your preferences are. It is not for me to choose what you like. Howbeit that humankind allows and gives that power over to another. Whether it be, and we don't care who it is you're giving that power over to. We want you to know that it belongs to you and you alone. We don't care if you're giving that power to a religious belief system. We don't care if you're giving that power over to a husband. We don't care if you're giving that power over to a wife. We don't care if you're giving that power over to parents. We don't care if you're giving that power over to a job or place of employment. We came here and we will stand steady and firm in knowing that that power belongs to you. And that you are very capable of deciding and determining what you prefer. No one knows it better. How could anyone know better what you prefer and what you like than you? So you came here to decide what your preferences are and make your choices. And in order for you to get really good at going through all the life experiences and really becoming clear about your preferences, it's important for you to begin to choose thoughts that feel good to you and yes, feel good to you. Choose thoughts that feel good to you. This is what is meant when it is written, whatsoever thing is lovely, whatsoever thing is of a good report, think on these things. This is the compellment for you, for humankind, to begin to choose thoughts that serve you, that feel good to you, because as you begin to do that, you're going to move closer in the direction of your desires. When you are sitting around, standing around with your friends, by yourself, with whomever, and you guys are contemplating and thinking about thoughts and holding conversations that are opposite of what you want, what do you think is happening? What do you think is happening? You are a very powerful creator, and you are creating all the time, whether you know it or not. Doesn't matter if you know it or not. You've been made that way. You've been created that way. So many of you are wondering, why does this keep happening to me? Because you keep talking about it. Because you keep thinking about it. Because you won't choose something else. We want you to begin to choose thoughts and beliefs that serve you. If you're choosing thoughts, the same thoughts that you thought about when you were 20, guess what? That's why you still have and are doing the same things you did when you were 20. Not that what you were thinking about was wrong or right, but you're thinking the same thing. Begin to develop thoughts and beliefs. Begin to give birth to new inspirations and concepts so that you can begin to birth out your desires, so that you can begin to come in realization of the things that you want. You are meant to have the things that you want. The things that you dream about and desire, they are not fleeing in some long way off and on some other side of life. They are readily available to you. There is not a thing that you could imagine in your human mind. There is not a thing that you could come up with that this earth atmosphere is not very capable of producing for you. We want you to begin to choose thoughts and beliefs that serve you. And we want you to begin, as thoughts, all kinds of thoughts come your way, pick and choose. Be very choosy. Yes? Be choosy. You came here to choose. And you are very free to choose. And we want you to be choosy. Choose what you like. Choose what you prefer. Whether it be a long time belief, a brand new belief, a middle-aged belief, a classic belief, a new belief. I don't know, there's all these kinds of beliefs. We want you to begin to decide, does this belief serve me? Does this serve my desires? Does this feel good to me? Does this lift me up? Does this make me feel empowered? We're going to begin to talk to you soon. Sometimes we are wondering all the time, do you know that you are heirs and joint heirs? We are full and we are satisfied right now with what we have presented to you. But we want you to begin to chew on these things that we are giving you. These things are going to begin to march you into a new direction. This train that you're riding is super fun. There's nothing on this train for you to lose, everything for you to gain. We want them for you. All that is wanting it for you. All that is so for you, so rooting you on, so wanting you to have what you want, so wanting you to know that you are so worthy of it. And so it is well with us, this teaching. We want you to contemplate on it. We want you to search it out. We want you to play with it and practice with it. See what it yields you. We are excited to hear about how you begin to choose. And as you begin to choose thoughts that serve you, how you begin to yield different results. This is very fun. This is a fun game to play. This game called life is fun. And you came here to play. We're going to guide you on a ride that's going to teach you how to play well, honey. All right, well, we love you very much. We're super excited about our next venture with you, and we will see you soon.